Let's get right into it. Number 1. The Immortal Jellyfish. You know how most living things eventually die? Not this one. Meet Turritopsis dohrnii, a jellyfish that basically said, "Nah, I'm good," to the whole concept of mortality. Instead of going gently into that good night, this translucent blob hits reverse and de-ages itself. Like, it literally turns back into a baby jellyfish. Over and over again. It's the biological equivalent of rage quitting adulthood and respawning as a toddler whenever things get tough. If humans had this power, there would be zero taxes, no midlife crises, and a weird number of kindergarten millionaires. So, how does this aquatic Benjamin Button do it? It's all about something called transdifferentiation. That's a sciencey way of saying its cells can morph into other types of cells. Muscle becomes nerve, nerve becomes tentacle, tentacle becomes whatever it needs to restart its jellyfish life cycle. Scientists aren't even mad, they're just impressed. But don't panic. It's not like we're being taken over by an army of undying sea ghosts. These things are only about 4 millimeters wide. Still, they've got the secret to eternal youth and they don't even have a brain. Think about that the next time you forget your Netflix password again. Basically, this jellyfish said, "Death is a suggestion." And your whole biology textbook is now shaking in fear. Number 2. The Blobfish. Imagine melting a sad human face in the microwave and then giving it the personality of someone who just got rejected from clown school. Congrats, you've visualized the Blobfish. This gelatinous disaster lives in the deep sea, where the pressure is intense enough to crush a car. Down there, the Blobfish actually looks kind of normal. But take it out of that crushing abyss, and its body basically goes, nope, and collapses into a frowning gelatin pancake. That weird Saiga face isn't just for show. It's a side effect of its body being mostly jelly with the density of water. It doesn't have muscles because it doesn't need them. It literally floats around waiting for food to come close enough to accidentally fall in its mouth. That's its entire game plan. Just vibing. Useless, floppy, and oddly relatable. Oh, and despite looking like a living depression meme, the Blobfish has been voted the world's ugliest animal. Which is honestly unfair. It's just built different. Specifically, built to survive in a place where light doesn't exist and gravity forgot to show up. So the next time you're having a rough day, just remember, the Blobfish exists and it's doing just fine. Ugly, unemployed, and still winning at life. Number 3. The Axolotl. The Axolotl is what happens when evolution gets drunk and refuses to finish what it started. It's a salamander that never grows up. Literally. It stays in its larval stage forever. Like that one friend who still says whoa hello in 2025. These aquatic Peter Pans keep their gills, their baby face, and their please love me energy well into adulthood. But here's where things get science fiction level weird. They can regrow almost anything. Limb? Regrown. Tail? Regrown. Part of their brain? Regrown. Some can even repair parts of their heart. Meanwhile, you stub your toe and suddenly you're rethinking your will. Scientists love axolotls for this reason. They're basically walking regeneration hacks. And the wildest part? Their healing superpowers don't come with side effects like cancer, which is kind of a big deal, considering human cells love to throw tantrums when asked to regenerate. Also, they look like they're always smiling. It's a lie, obviously, they're amphibians, not therapists, but it makes them instantly memeable. So yeah, the axolotl, the adorable medical marvel that refuses to grow up, gives Deadpool a run for his money, and still manages to look like a plush toy from Hot Topic. Number 4. The Shoebill Stork. If nightmare fuel had feathers, it would be the Shoebill Stork. This bird looks like it was designed by someone who only vaguely remembered what birds are supposed to look like, then gave up halfway and added dinosaur energy for fun. Shoebills are massive. We're talking over 4 feet tall, with a wingspan that could smother your dreams. But the real terror lies in the face. It's got a beak shaped like an orthopedic shoe and eyes that say, "I've seen things." Its stare could challenge a security camera. It's the kind of bird that silently judges you from across the room while plotting something ominous. Oh, and it clacks its beak like a castanet from hell. It's not a friendly sound. It's the sound you'd hear right before the horror movie title slams on screen. And when it's hunting, it just stands there, perfectly still, for hours, waiting, like an eerie bird assassin. And when it does strike, it goes for baby crocodiles. Asterisk baby. Crocodiles. Asterisk, that's how little this bird cares about danger. Shoebills are straight-up goth velociraptors who skipped therapy and went straight for the menace. Somehow, these birds are endangered, possibly because they're too terrifying to mate. Or maybe they just hate small talk. Either way, the shoebill is living proof that dinosaurs never really left. They just got weirder and judgmental. Number 5. The naked mole rat. You ever see something so weird that your brain just quietly reboots? That's the naked mole rat. It looks like a hot dog that lost a fight, with teeth on the outside of its face, and a vibe that says, I live in a post-apocalyptic bunker and I'm thriving. But this wrinkled subterranean sausage is a biological goldmine. First off, it doesn't feel pain the same way you do. Acid? Burn? Spice? Nope. Naked mole rat doesn't care. Scientists discovered it lacks certain pain receptors, making it essentially immune to some of the worst sensations your skin can scream about. Also, and this is where it gets even weirder, it doesn't get cancer, like, at all. These things can live up to 30 years, which is absurd for a rodent, and somehow skip the tumors entirely. Meanwhile, you eat one questionable microwave burrito and you're writing your will in emoji. And the social structure? Straight up ant colony. They have a queen mole rat, a literal breeding queen. Everyone else just works, digs tunnels, and minds their bald, beady-eyed business. If a new mole rat wants to be queen, they fight to the death, all in a day's work. So yeah, it looks like a cursed gummy worm, but it's pain-proof, cancer-proof, and runs on royalty drama. It's basically the Mad Max version of a hamster. Number 6. The platypus. Let's just say it, the platypus looks like someone dared evolution to make a prank animal. And evolution accepted. Behold, a mammal with a duck bill, beaver tail, otter feet, venomous spurs, and the ability to lay eggs. What? Scientists were so confused when they first saw one, they thought it was fake. Like, stitched together taxonomy lab fake. They checked the seams. That's how much sense this thing didn't make. But nope, the platypus is real. And it's basically a biological mashup mixtape. Despite being a mammal, it lays eggs like a reptile. It sweats milk through its skin, no nipples, thanks. And the males? Oh yeah, they've got venom. A spur on their back leg that can deliver a sting so painful it makes grown adults hallucinate. The venom won't kill you, but it might make you wish it would. Also, their bills are loaded with electroreceptors. That means they can literally sense electricity in the muscles of their prey. So they swim around with their eyes closed, hunting things by reading their electric vibes like some kind of aquatic fortune teller. If a wizard cursed a beaver and a duck to merge into one chaotic creature, this is what you'd get. The platypus. Evolution's answer to, why not? Number 7. The pistol shrimp. Small. Shrimp. Literal weaponized claw. This is not a drill. The pistol shrimp may be tiny, we're talking 2 inches long, but it carries a biological superpower that sounds like something from a Marvel origin story. It snaps its claw so fast that it creates a bubble. But not just any bubble, a bubble that reaches for 800 degrees C for a split second. That's hotter than the surface of the sun. And it creates a shockwave loud enough to stun or kill its prey. Let that sink in. This shrimp has a stun gun claw that doubles as a tiny underwater explosion. You'd think something like this would be a boss fight in a video game. But nope. It's just hanging out on coral reefs, blowing stuff up with sound. To other shrimp, it must be like living next to an unhinged neighbor who owns fireworks and has no sense of boundaries. Scientists have even studied pistol shrimp colonies and realized they're louder than a rock concert. Underwater. And because the shrimp's claw is asymmetrical, if it ever loses the magic arm, the other one morphs into a new weapon. Regenerating explosive limbs? Casual. So yeah, while you're microwaving leftovers for the 3rd time this week, this shrimp is snapping sonic booms with its anime-level arm cannon. Priorities. Number 8. The maned wolf. What if a fox made a wish to be taller but forgot to specify anything else? Boom, you get the maned wolf. This lanky weirdo isn't actually a wolf, or a fox, or a dog. It's its own thing, evolutionarily speaking. And it looks like someone glued a fox's head onto stilts and said, "Good enough." Native to South America, it walks through the grasslands like a model strutting down the runway at Fashion Week for cryptids. Despite its spooky cool appearance, the maned wolf is actually chill. It mostly eats fruit, rodents, and small birds. Oh, and it smells like skunky weed. Seriously, zoologists have literally mistaken its territory scent marking for someone lighting up behind the zoo. Also, that haunting maned part? When it feels threatened, it raises a dark ridge of hair along its neck and back like a creepy werewolf cosplay. It's not dangerous, just extra. And get this, its bark is so deep it sounds like it's being played in slow motion. If a horror movie needed a canine villain, this would be the jump scare. The maned wolf. Part fox, part hallucination, all leg. A spooky fur noodle just trying its best in a world that doesn't understand it. Number 9. The Saiga Antelope. Imagine a goat, now give it a nose shaped like a banana that got anxious halfway through puberty. Congratulations, you've summoned the Saiga Antelope. This bizarre-looking animal looks like it was designed by someone who had only 20% of the animal anatomy flashcards and just started improvising. Native to the grasslands of Central Asia, the Saiga's most notable feature is its giant, inflatable schnoz. That weird, droopy nose isn't just a tragic design choice. It's actually a high-efficiency air filter. In the summer, it helps keep out dust and cool the air. In the winter, it warms up the icy breath. Basically, the Saiga's nose is doing full-time HVAC work, and it's not even unionized. But here's the sad twist. This majestic, wonky-nosed marvel is critically endangered. A combination of poaching, habitat loss, and weirdly specific respiratory diseases has pushed their numbers way down. In 2015, a massive die-off wiped out over 200,000 saigas in just a few weeks due to a mysterious bacterial infection that turned into a fatal stampede of death. Nature said, "Too weird to live, too weird to survive mass outbreaks." Still, conservationists are trying to bring them back because if the saiga goes extinct, we lose an entire nose-based ecosystem. Plus, honestly, the world just needs more animals that look like rejected Star Wars background characters. So salute the saiga, part antelope, part vacuum cleaner, all resilience. Number 10. The glass frog. You know that nightmare where your organs are visible through your skin? The glass frog lives that. Every day. Voluntarily. Found in Central and South America, this frog is mostly translucent. As in, you can literally see its heart beating through its stomach. Its intestines? Right there. Liver? Front row seat. It's like an anatomy lesson with legs. From the top, it looks like a regular cute little green frog. But turn it over and boom, it's a biology exhibition. Great if you're a scientist. Creepy if you're trying to sleep. Scientists believe this semi-invisibility trick helps it evade predators by blending in with leaves, especially when sleeping during the day. But let's be real, nature just went full glass mode and didn't stop halfway. And here's the kicker. During sleep, the glass frog hides its red blood cells in its liver to avoid being seen. Yep, it literally moves its blood around to turn invisible. That's not just camouflage. That's next-level ninja biology. Meanwhile, you put on a black hoodie and think you're stealthy. This frog is both a medical marvel and a stealth genius, and all while looking like a gummy bear with a haunted secret. Number 11. The Goblin Shark. You ever open your front camera by accident and recoil in horror? That's the Goblin Shark. Nature's answer to what if a nightmare could swim. This deep-sea horror show has a long, flat snout, skin that looks like expired ham, and a projectile jaw. Yes, a jaw that launches forward to grab prey. It's like Alien, but more gelatinous. When the Goblin Shark senses a fish nearby, it shoots its jaw out of its face like a bear trapped from hell. Its teeth? Needle-sharp and pointed in all the wrong directions. Its vibe? Unmistakably cursed. But don't worry, you'll, hopefully, never meet one. They live thousands of feet below the ocean surface in pitch-black water, doing goblin things and terrifying crustaceans. Some researchers have called them living fossils because they've been around for 125 million years. And honestly, it shows. These sharks are slow, ugly, and have terrible posture, but they survive because they're absolute freaks of nature and proud of it. So if you ever feel like you're weird and awkward, just remember, the goblin shark exists and it's doing fine. Creepy, ancient, and absolutely not invited to any aquarium petting zoo. Number 12. The star-nosed mole. Picture this, a mole. Now give it a face that looks like it tried to kiss a sea anemone during a lightning storm. Boom. Star-nosed mole. This subterranean gremlin has a nose made of 22 fleshy, wiggling tentacles. It looks like a tiny hand exploded on its face. But this isn't just for show. Those appendages are insanely sensitive. They help it identify and eat prey in under a quarter of a second. That's faster than you can blink. It's like speed dating, but with worms. This mole doesn't rely on sight, thank God, because EW, but instead on touch. Its star nose has over 25,000 sensory receptors called Eimer's organs, and it's considered the fastest-eating mammal on Earth. Its record? Finding food and gobbling it in 120 milliseconds. This thing would destroy a hot dog eating contest. It also swims surprisingly well, blowing air bubbles to smell underwater. Yeah. It smells through bubbles. Meanwhile, you forgot how to breathe correctly the last time you tried snorkeling. So while the star-nosed mole looks like someone smashed a spaghetti strainer onto a rodent, it's actually one of the most efficient predators in its weight class. Fast, freaky, and definitely not winning any beauty pageants. Number 13. The Axolotl. You know that kid in class who never grew up but somehow aced every test? That's the axolotl, the aquatic Peter Pan of the animal kingdom. This adorable amphibian refuses to grow up. Literally. While most amphibians go through metamorphosis, tadpole to frog, larva to salamander, the axolotl just doesn't. It stays in its larval, guild stage for its entire life. That's like hitting puberty and deciding, nah, I'm good, while still thriving in your kiddie pool. But being perpetually baby-faced isn't even the weirdest part. Axolotls are regeneration machines. Lost a leg? It'll grow back. Tail? No problem. Spine? Half of its freaking heart? Yup. It's like if Wolverine and a plush toy had a baby and then tossed it in a pond. They can even regenerate parts of their brain. And they do it without scar tissue, which is honestly just rude, considering humans get a scar from sneezing too hard. Oh, and they glow. Some axolotls are bioengineered to fluoresce under UV light because science just wanted to flex. So now, in addition to being adorable and biologically invincible, they're also nightclub ready. Axolotls were once worshipped by the Aztecs, which makes sense. If you discovered a regenerating, permanently youthful creature that lives underwater and smiles 24/7, you'd probably build a temple too. So next time you forget where your keys are, remember, there's an animal out there regrowing brain tissue like it's no big deal. Behold, the axolotl, proof that being weird pays off. Number 14. The Immortal Jellyfish. Okay, let's just skip past weird and go straight to cheating death. Because the Immortal Jellyfish does exactly that. Turritopsis dohrnii, which sounds like a spell Harry Potter would shout by accident, is a jellyfish that basically presses Ctrl plus Z on life. When it's old, injured, or stressed, it doesn't die. It reverts back to its polyp stage, like hitting the reset button on existence. Adult to baby, then grows up again, forever. Biologically, it's like, oops, this life didn't go well. Let's try another timeline. And it can do this indefinitely unless something eats it or it gets destroyed, which makes it the closest thing we've found to a real-life immortality hack. Meanwhile, humans are still trying not to stub their toes on furniture. And it's not even that big or flashy. It's just a tiny, translucent blob floating around the ocean, living its endless little life. Scientists are obsessed with it, trying to figure out how it keeps rewriting its biological code like a time-traveling jelly wizard. The immortal jellyfish doesn't care about your existential crisis. Is too busy Benjamin Button and G its way through marine history. Aging, decline, death, nah, just vibes and rebirth. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.